Welcome into Philthy, a Philadelphia Eagles podcast presented by I Said What I Said podcast. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. It's Eagles game week. It's Cowboys week. It is the kickoff to the 2025-2026 NFL season, and our Philadelphia Eagles are kicking off the season because they are Super Bowl champs, Tyson. They are raising the banner on Thursday night against Dallas at the Link. Man, this is going to be a great game.
And the team isn't even going to be out there to see him raise the banner. And everybody online has a problem with that. Those are your Philadelphia Eagles this year. We don't give a shit about last season. We're here trying to run it back. They won't say repeat, but maybe run it back is okay. I personally think it's kind of sick that the team is going to be getting ready for the game ahead of them instead of being out there to raise the banner. Do you have an issue with it?
No, dude. Like, whatever. Like, they make the decision as a team. Like, if they wanted to go out there, I wouldn't care either way.
Mm-mm.
Do you want to win another one? Do you want to go back to back? I know we don't want to put the hijinks on it, but if that's their mentality, isn't that what we want here in the city of Philadelphia? Is, you know, they go 3 and out, they're probably going to get booed in the first week after winning the Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
All right. So if you are tuning in now, it's football season, folks. Tyson and I are running out this episode, or this podcast, I should say, specifically focusing on the Eagles. We did it for a different company last year. We decided to do it on our channel this year, because mainly we wanted to keep it going because we love the Eagles. They freaking almost went undefeated since we started it. Like, that's when they went on the 10-week run or whatever the hell it was. We lost track until Jalen got the concussion, and then they won the Super Bowl. So we had to keep it going, folks. So we're doing this as a service to the fan base. How we do it on previews, we'll react after the game, things like that. But as we preview, we're going to take a look at how the Eagles offense stacks up against their opponent's defense, how their defense stacks up against the opponent's offense. We'll give out a game prediction if we think the Eagles are going to win. We'll give out a bold prediction. Normally it features a player or something that we think that is going to happen, or if it's like a crazy thing that we are predicting. And then we'll give out an SGP, same game parlay for you gambling folks at the very end if you want to ride a little something on these Eagles games, because we know you're going to be watching. We know you're going to be putting a little scratch down. So we got you covered. We're going to try to make some cashola on the Eagles games this year. Tyson, you got to be fired up for this breakdown.
Oh, I'm pumped, dude. I don't know how many people out there on the Eagles subreddit, but there's jersey numbers posted like every day. We're this many days away. And today was David Akers spliced with Jalen Hurts from the OG days. And I was ready to run through a wall. Nolan Smith the other day, I'm ready to go.
Well, let's dive into it then. Let's not waste any more time, because we got the Eagles offense going up against the Cowboys defense that is without Micah Parsons. This comes a week before that they trade their best defensive player. Then they extend Deron Bland, their cornerback, to a massive contract, which is hilarious that this comes right after not wanting to give Micah Parsons his money. But alas, here we are as the Cowboys have to roll in to Lincoln Financial without their best edge rusher, who is really the only person who got pressure on Jalen Hurts. This is an Eagles offense. Yes, there are some health questions on the offensive line. As we were recording this, Landon Dickerson did not practice on Tuesday when we were recording this. How will that look as we head into the game? I think even if he doesn't play, I am not miffed at all about what this Eagles offense can do against the Cowboys defense. We'll dive into the stats, things like that, but this is a massive, massive mismatch on paper.
Yeah, it is. And it's fun to dunk on Dallas, but any team that trades not only your best player, but your best player, on that side of the ball, the one, like when we're going to talk about the defense, like, has there even been enough time to get Kenny Clark in and like, hey, here's the playbook? And his job's not going to change a bunch, play to play, but it's like, can you even get the personnel packages and things like that in a week before you play a team that just wants to bully you? And like, I think that is maybe what was on the mind of Jerry Jones a little bit. Like, hey, I got to get somebody to stop the run. That's not why they traded Micah Parsons, but maybe that's part of the reason that he wanted an interior defensive lineman in the return. And I think Philly's still going to be able to run the ball all over him. We're going to be so mad at Kevin Patullo when they throw the ball 25, 30 times or whatever it is. We'll say it all year long, but there's a little Changelian here. It doesn't mean they're going 5 wide, but they are going to throw the ball more. And I think that's going to be fun for Eagles fans this year, because we're all going to be able to look around. I think Jalen Hurts is thrown for 4,000 yards this season, and it's not maybe the most bold thing in the world, but I think he's going to get there. 6 guys got there a year ago. I think he adds his name to the list. I think it starts now, but they're just going to be able to run the ball.
They should, because Dallas last year had the worst EPA per rush at 0.12, tied with the Carolina Panthers. And that's
who have like the worst defense of all time.
So think about that. Now, yes, Micah Parsons, every time, well, he's not a good run defender. He's an edge rusher, guys, like for Christ's sake. And then you add Kenny Clark, that should improve things. But again, how much up to speed is he going to be? You have a new defensive coordinator too. So everything's new for these guys. It's Matt Eberflus after Mike Zimmer was fired. I'm with you on the passing attack from Jalen Hurts because there's a lot of man-to-man concepts that Matt Eberflus runs. That is his strength. That's what he likes to do. This could come later in the season if they're able to perform well in the man-to-man situations. But I don't think that happens in week one. Who eats up man? A.J. Brown. Who is an elite route runner that can eat up man coverage? Devontae Smith. So I think you're going to have a major advantage on the outside for the Eagles. And then we saw Jahan Dotson. I was kind of pounding it like, hey, man, like we're going to see it at some point. It didn't happen until the very end. But maybe he's accustomed to a little bit more, Tyson. And out of the slot, he is also good against man coverage. So I think this is a huge advantage for the Eagles. And if there's a game that they're going to come out and throw the football, yes, we're going to see the running guys. Don't worry. But this is a good little intro. Like, hey, we're going to spread it out and chuck it around a little bit more.
And they scored 75 points on these guys a year ago. Different teams, and we understand that. But it's basically the same offense. We're going to say that all year long as far as starters go, and they are pretty familiar with putting belt to ass on the Dallas Cowboys.
So I don't have much more for the Eagles offense because I think it's going to be a steady dose of Saquon Barkley, and we're going to see some deep shots. We're going to see a lot of deep ends. We're going to see some good stuff. We'll probably see some bubble screens that'll drive people crazy. But I think that's the biggest disadvantage that the Cowboys have when coming into the link. I think the Eagles will take advantage of that on their side of things. Anything else that you want to point out on the offensive side of things before we move to the defense?
Oh, there's definitely going to be times that they don't look good, and we're all going to freak out, and it's going to be fun. Just to remember that we were freaking out for 4 weeks last year. Siri had to save his head for this thing to get turned around. So we're back.
Eagles defense versus Cowboys offense. So I actually am bullish a little bit on this Cowboys offense. Last year it was really just CeeDee Lamb. They go out and trade for George Pickens. That at least gives you another option because they did not have another guy that Dak could throw to. Schottenheimer's here again. Now he's the head coach. How much is he going to be involved in the play calling, the play designing, things like that? I think he's probably going to be more heavily weighted towards that. He's not going to be the CEO guy, of course. This is probably his last chance to be a head coach in the NFL. I think he's going to try to really showcase a lot of things, especially offensively. And that at least gives me some pause. Like, okay, what does this Cowboys offense look like in year two of Brian Schottenheimer? You get another weapon there. But this is also year two of Vic Fangio's defense. This is also another year older for Cooper DeJean, for Quinion Mitchell. Another year in the system for Zach Bond. Another year for Nolan Smith after he's breaking out. Another year for Jalix Hunt. Jordan Davis, we've been waiting for. He looks thin. He looks good. The reports are great. This Eagles defense was incredible last year, Tyson. They could be even better this year. Now, the cornerback 2 spot is iffy. The secondary and the safety position opposite of Reed Blankenship is a little iffy. We're going to know early if they're going to be able to cover, and that's what I'm going to keep my eyes on. But I think this Eagles defense has more than enough to shut down this Cowboys offense.
And you go through all those guys, and you didn't even mention, the guy, Breadman, Jalen Carter. Like, it's another year old. Like, he might show up as the best player in football. Like, that'd be fun for all of us, I think. The Eagles haven't played Dak since 2023, and the Cowboys hung 33 points. Obviously, a different team completely than that one. If you guys remember back that far, we weren't exactly pumped with the Philadelphia Eagles at the tail end of that 2023 season. But Dak does give the Eagles defense fits. And we haven't gotten to see him and Jalen Hurts match up hardly at all for two guys that play twice a year. So that part's going to be really fun. But I think, as far as being bullish on the Cowboys offense, like you said, I think I'm in the same spot as always, where the stats are going to look good at the end of games, but it's not going to feel good, the whole time. And like Dak Prescott's passing number is over under 248.5. You said that feels high. To me, that just feels like a Dak Prescott Sunday. And this is going to be a really good test for this Eagles defense with that quarterback 2 position. We expect CeeDee Lamb to line up in the slot and probably draw a lot of Cooper DeJean. And maybe that means Quinion Mitchell is just going to match up with George Pickens. The reports out of camp was that Q was traveling to both sides of the ball. So if he's doing that with George Pickens, then maybe all of a sudden it's not the best matchup because it's not necessarily 2 guys on the outside. But I do think we're going to learn a little bit. Those safeties are going to be tested. I want to see if Drew Makuba gets like significant burn or like what the plan is going to be at safety. Vic Fangio wasn't afraid a year ago to mix guys in the middle of games. And I think that probably is going to be the case here. But this Eagles defensive line is, I think, being a little bit underrated, and I won't say disrespected, but I think they were like 16th on ESPN's ranking, something like that. I just personally think Jalen Carter is going to announce to everybody again, like, I'm that guy.
And somebody's got to emerge on the opposite of him if that's going to happen, right? Like Aaron Donald could beat double teams, could beat triple teams. I think Jalen Carter's getting that point where he can, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you're like, oh, geez, we just can't only just double team him. Like we got somebody else on the other side that we got to worry about too. So I'm hoping that whether that's Mora Ojimo, whether that is Jordan Davis, who else can emerge in the interior that's going to come up and be opposite of Jalen Carter. And even if you need to take Jalen Carter off the field every once in a while, give him some rest. Can somebody stay in there and maintain that level of play? I think that's what we're looking for here. I think the Cowboys are going to make a mistake if they put CeeDee Lamb primarily in the slot, because if he's on the outside, he's going to draw Quinion Mitchell. If he's in the interior, he's going to draw Cooper DeJean. Now, Cooper DeJean is awesome in the slot. We saw that last year. But that also takes away George Pickens, because you assume Quinion Mitchell is going to be on George Pickens when he's on the outside. So I think if you go somebody else in the slot, CeeDee Lamb on the outside, George Pickens on the outside, that at least gives you a matchup of George Pickens against Adoree Jackson, George Pickens against whoever else is going to be cornerback two outside of Adoree Jackson the Eagles are looking at. That gives you more of a chance than if you're like, well, we like CD in the slot, so he's just going to be the guy there. So that's what I'm going to be circling here. Like, is there going to be any adjustments made from the Cowboys' point of view? And maybe it happens early, maybe it happens late. I'm not sure. But either way, it's going to be a hell of a test if it's just CeeDee Lamb in the slot for Cooper DeJean. And we're going to see, man, if this kid's legit still special like he was last year, or, I don't want to say taking a step back because it's first game, but, CeeDee Lamb's really good, man. He's hard to cover. So I think that'll be a matchup to circle. Overall, linebackers too, Tyson. I mean, you highlighted Drew Makuba opposite of Reed Blankenship. I want to see that. Same with Sidney Brown. It's like, is he going to be used more of like a box safety type of thing? Is he going to be able to cover?
Dude, if he's on the field at the same time as Kevontae Turpin, we're going to find out a lot.
Yeah, because that's just a go shot. See if he can cover that. But the linebacker position, is it going to be Trot? Is it going to be Trotter Jr., I should say? Sorry, guys, for the old heads out there. Is it going to be Trotter Jr.? How much does the rookie play? What are we looking here? Like Jahad Campbell, is he going to be coming off the edge? Is he going to be, they've drafted him to kind of be like the similar Zach Bond clone where you can do both. So I'm excited to see this defense. I know what I'm getting from the offense. I don't want to go revisit that. This defense still I got some questions I'm excited about, not necessarily worried about. So I'm pumped to see this.
Yeah, and I just want to see the attitude. Like it's been a lot of Sundays that we've spent without this team just punching you in the face. And I think that we're going to get that from the defense, whether they're as good as they were a year ago or you think they could be better. I just want to see them be physical.
Let's get into the game prediction, Tyson, because this was under a touchdown, and I know we're not going to do gambling here. This was under a touchdown or right at a touchdown for the Parsons trade. It's something freaking 8.5. So big favorite for the Eagles. I expect them to roll. I mean, listen, we know these games can get a little wonky because they're rivalry games, and Dak Prescott has had the Eagles number in the past at times, but this just looks like a mismatch on paper. I think it's going to be a mismatch on the field. I think the Eagles roll. They give Citizens Bank Park. They give Lincoln Financial a lot of things to celebrate, not just raising the banner, but winning a big game over the Cowboys. We start the season off right.
Yeah, the Birds are winning. My only question is is the over every score prediction always is like for 60 points. If you're going to read something from somebody else, it's like Eagles 37, Cowboys 24 or whatever. And it's like, it's week 1 of the NFL season. So the over under set at 47, I'll say Eagles get 31 points and Dallas squeaks to 17 when it doesn't matter.
I'll go 31-14. So we're kind of similar here. Bold prediction. I'll throw to you because you were really good last year. And I don't know if I was over aggressive. I don't know if I was just being an idiot. Probably a combination of both. But give me your bold prediction for week 1 as if Eagles face the Cowboys.
Okay. And I'm going to walk through this too. I don't understand. Like, I get this might not be bold, but Quinyon Mitchell had 0 interceptions in the regular season last year, and I think he gets one here to start his second NFL season. Dak Prescott didn't have to see this guy a bunch. Dak Prescott likes to hyper target some of his guys, and sometimes Dak Prescott misses a little bit. We saw Quinyon Mitchell get really close a couple times last year, especially when he's being aggressive. And then all the reports out of camp were like, hey, Quinyon Mitchell is really good. He's right there with A.J. Brown. He's right there with Devontae Smith, and he's intercepting the ball. That's like everybody's reporting. This guy's hands might have got a little better. I think we see it right away, and Quinyon Mitchell picks out Dak Prescott early.
I love it. Okay, so Quinyon Mitchell interception, bold prediction for Tyson. My bold prediction. Now, I was going to go off the rails a little bit, full disclosure, guys, and predict a Will Shipley touchdown because I was like, this is going to get out of hand. That'd be sick. But I'm going to rein myself in. I want to hit a bold prediction because I hit the first one we did at the other place, and I didn't hit one after. So I'm fiending to hit one. So I'm going to go even crazier. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson touchdown here, Tyson.
Dude, this is like we've done this now 15 times, and Brad's bold prediction has been Jahan Dotson touchdown 8 times.
It's up there for sure. Tyson's being a little hyperbolic, but it was at least 4. We're going to start off with the Jahan Dotson touchdown as my bold prediction to start. Now, here's my reasoning, though. I think we know A.J. Brown can eat. We know Smitty can eat. But we've seen some wrinkles in the past where early and often they want to get somebody involved. And Jahan Dotson, he's here. He's with another offensive system. Now, it's not just the Kellen Moore thing. It's Patullo taking over. Is he more comfortable in the system, more wide receivers, more targets on the field, yada, yada. I think there's going to be some sort of thing where Jahan Dotson gets into the end zone. I don't know if he outruns somebody and it's a bomb or if it's like a little slant route, little out route, one of those pick plays in the red zone. But bold prediction, Jahan Dotson scores a touchdown for the Eagles.
Plus 850.
Okay, there we go, folks. And speaking of money, though, week 1 SGP, I kind of highlighted it before. Tyson and I are going to do this every single week that the Eagles play a football game. We're going to, because we know you guys are going to be betting stuff. We know you guys are going to want to take some Eagles things, and we're going to be watching the Eagles games because you guys are sickos. That's why you're watching us here on Philthy. So welcome again. We'll see if we can continue and get hot because Tyson and I had some moderate success. I don't want to jinx ourselves before we get going. We had some moderate success with predicting the Eagles stuff last year. And so let's go ahead and dive into what we got this week, Tyson. We are playing a boost 50% on FanDuel on this SGP. Why don't you take us through it?
Yeah, it's Eagles minus 5.5 as the first leg, kind of getting under any weird stuff, maybe a missed extra point or whatever if the game ends up closer than we think. But you heard us both think this is a 2-score game. Saquon Barkley touchdown, that is Brad's favorite play always, and it probably should be yours too. Jalen Hurts touchdown is my favorite play always, and I do think the Eagles are just going to find a way. Yeah, the tush push didn't go away. We're still running this thing, and we're getting them in the end zone. CeeDee Lamb, 5+ receptions. This is another one of Brad's babies. CeeDee Lamb gets 10 targets a game. And whether we love Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell or whoever else, it's just kind of the reality of the situation. And then A.J. Brown, 60+ reception yards. I'm comfortable with this thing up to 100. I was trying to talk Brad into a little higher number. I think A.J. Brown is going to destroy Trayvon Diggs, anybody that is lined up against A.J. Brown, because this is an Eagles podcast, so I could say it. Everybody else's favorite receiver moves all over the formation. They move all over the field. A.J. Brown stands on his side of the field. He points at the ground and says, meet me over here. And then he bodies whatever corner decides to walk up on him. And I think A.J. Brown's going over 100, so it's 60+ where we feel good, and that all adds up to plus 862.
That's with the boost on FanDuel. So we're trying to get off to a good start here. That's why I want to be a little safer on AJB. I'm with Tyson, though. I think he's going to have a good game. He eats up man coverage. Trayvon Diggs, we don't think he's elite, and we think A.J. Brown is. Oh, the hamstring, just that. This guy's going to come ready to play. Don't you worry about that. So, again, Eagles minus 5.5. Saquon Barkley touchdown. Jalen Hurts touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 5+ receptions. A.J. Brown, 60+ receiving yards. That's going to do it for us here on Philthy, brought to you and here on the I Said What I Said podcast channel here on YouTube. If you're listening in podcast form too, don't have to change it or anything. You're at the right place. If you like other NFL stuff, if you like college football stuff, we have you covered here because that's what we do on our normal episodes of the I Said What I Said podcast. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. So if you're not just an Eagles fan, you are, but you're like, I love college football, this and that, we got you covered on that front. Smash the like button on the way out. Let us know what you think is going to happen when Dallas comes in to the link, and the Eagles are raising their banner. This could be an ass kick, and let us know what you think the final score is going to be. Give us your predictions and share it with a friend. We're just launching this thing, so share it with some people. Share it with your Eagles friends. Share it with somebody who hates the Eagles. That would be even more important. That's what we'd love even more. So let's do that. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's go, Birds. We'll talk to you when we talk to you. Peace.